What's up people, welcome to another Arcane afternoon. The temp event is back for the second time this year. Usually we only get one temp event a year, but this time we got a second temp event this year. The last temp event was in January, that was about 6 months ago. Maybe from now on we will have a temp event every 6 months. But for everyone who doesn't know what temp event is, so this is basically EVG or EZG in solo and only your best score counts. This event determines who the best players of each class are, and I have by far the best temple finishes out of everyone. I have multiple first places, and that's how I became the #1 rogue multiple times, and that's also how I became the official GOAT of Arcane Legends. So without wasting too much time, let's have a look at the leaderboard. So this year they made some changes. First of all, the group leaderboard, which didn't matter before anyways, they now made this one total score. So all of your runs add up. So for example, if the champ guy gets about 100,000 score a run, he already did 100 runs in this event and all of your scores add up. So this is basically just like any other event. You just have to play a lot to get these leaderboard rewards. Then we have the solo high score. So here only your best score counts and one run takes about 30 minutes. So you can get first place on this leaderboard in just 30 minutes. And this leaderboard determines who the best players of each class are. And as I said, I have by far the best tempo finishes, multiple first places, and currently I am first place again. And because it only takes about 30 minutes to get, for example, first place on this leaderboard, you can actually play with multiple alt accounts. For example, in temp event 2023, I had 5 accounts in the top 10, and I made actually 3 billion gold from the leaderboard rewards. I have a really nice playlist, I will link it in the pinned comment. It's called Arcane Legends Gold Rogue. There's some really nice videos, for example, how I made 3 billion gold in 4 hours in temp event, and some other really nice videos. If you haven't seen them, you should definitely watch them. And besides this leaderboard, they also added a solo total score. Here all of your scores add up. This is just basically just playing a lot like any other event. This has nothing really to do with skill. Of course, only the solo high score counts. But now let's have a look at the rewards that you get. For top 50 in group, you get a first brood title, which looks decent. Then you get a Dragon Hunter Halo and a Clawfire brand. The Hunter Halo doesn't look that bad, but you get it for every leaderboard top 50. You get it for group top 50, you get it for solo, each class, high score top 50, and total score top 50. So there's going to be 350 of these halos in the game. So this halo is probably only going to be worth around a couple 100,000 at most. So here for the top 50 group total score, you're basically just playing for this first brood title. And now let's have a look at the top 10 rewards. And the top 10 rewards are actually very crazy here. You get possibly the coolest looking banner in the entire game, and it is tradable. So this banner will be worth a lot. It's hard to estimate how much this will be worth. Maybe 500 million, maybe even 1 billion gold. It looks very OP, it looks really good. And besides this banner, you get just the top 50 rewards and a badge. So you're mainly just playing for this banner, and you will for sure get a lot of gold if you decide to sell this. Next up, we have a look at the solo high score leaderboard. This leaderboard again determines who the best players of each class are. And if you make it into the top 50 of your class, you are officially a pro player. If you make it into the top 50 of your class, you're basically a top 25 player of your class, because there will be a lot of alt accounts. For example, last temp event I also had 10 alt accounts in the top 50. So if you make it into the top 50, you are basically a top 25 player. But now let's have a look at the rewards that you get for solo high score. First, you get a Sacred Sentinel title. So if you see anyone with this title after this event, you know it's a really good player. But sadly, it's not a black title. The last temp event, you got a black title. So not the Black Dread title, that was from top 10 2022. Last temp event you got for top 50, the Deathlord title. I think they should have kept the black titles for temple, but they decided not to do this. I don't like it, but that's their decision. So you're getting this title, it's not tradable. And you get the same halo and the same banner from the group leaderboard, and 10 bound Elite Awakening gems and 1 Flawless Finesse Jewel. The Flawless Finesse Jewel is about 50 million gold right now. So pretty decent rewards, and if you consider you can basically get these rewards in 30 minutes, that's actually really nice to get. And now let's have a look at the top 10 rewards. So for the top 10 rewards, you get a Temple Guardian banner. Theoretically, this is the most prestigious banner in the entire game now, but unfortunately this banner is super ugly, so I really don't think this will sell for a lot of gold. Then you get a Assassin's Creed type vanity, and this also now is the most prestigious vanity in the entire game because it is from the solo high score most recent temple event. It looks pretty decent. It will be interesting how much this will sell for, but I already see a visual bug. You can see the buckle belt facing into the red cloth, so somebody maybe report this on the forum so they will fix this visual bug. But yeah, this vanity is tradable. It will be really interesting to see how much this vanity will sell for. Also here on the solo high score leaderboard, there will not be any ties. So there's actually only 10 of these in the entire game. Usually in other leaderboards you can tie and there's always like 15. Then you get a golden Temple Guardian badge and it's not tradable. You also get 50 bound Elite Awakening gems, 1 corrupted finesse jewel, which is about 150 million, and you also get the top 50 rewards. And then this temple event, they also added a solo total score. So here I'm also in the leaderboard, but again, this is not really skill. This is just you have to play a lot. But if you get to the high waves, it's actually easier to get on this leaderboard because you get more points on higher waves. So for me, it's a lot easier than for all of these other guys to get into this leaderboard. But for top 50, you get a Dragonheart purple title and the same Halo banner, 10 bound Elite Awakening gems and 1 flawless finesse jewel. And for top 10, you get a Sacred Flame banner, and this banner looks really good and it is tradable. It's not easy to estimate how much a banner like this will be worth. And next up we have this Rogue Dragon Hunt vanity set, and this vanity looks super OP. This is one of the rare vanities that actually looks good on Rogue. There's so much detail in the armor, and the blue and the golden colors are just really nice. This set is tradable and I'm sure it will sell for a lot of gold. This is one of the cleanest vanities in the entire game. Whoever designed this vanity did a really good job because usually rogues don't get any good vanities. And next up you get a Sacred Flame badge, 50 bound Elite Awakening gems, 1 corrupted finesse jewel, and you also get the top 50 rewards. Alright, so now let's have a look at the store. So here we can see there is a new aura and it looks very clean. It's 1750 platinum. And next weekend this aura will be in the store, probably also for 1750 platinum. I definitely prefer the first aura, it looks very clean. And now let's have a look at the new locks, and there is new speed sets in the locks. So at the Goblin event we didn't get any speed sets in the locks, but now in the Temple event we got new speed sets, and all of these new speed sets are actually better than all of the old speed sets. All of these speed sets give 20% more movement speed, so all of the current speed sets lost a lot of value now, and you should definitely try to get one of these new speed sets because they are faster than the current ones. The highest level is level 81, and there's actually a even better new speed set, and it's called the Flamethrower speed set, and this one is level 86 and it actually gives you 40% movement speed more than the current speed sets. And one of these sets actually sell for 500 million gold right now. That's even too much gold for me, and I will definitely not get one of these. I already saw a lot of people on the forum complaining that the drop rate is so low for these speed sets. They barely drop and that's why the price is so high. The drop rate for any of these speed sets is actually the same as the Arcanes apparently, so that's a big problem because in the past the speed sets and the gold loot sets had like a much higher drop rate from the locked, but now the drop rate is so low and none of the speed sets are dropping, so the prices are so high for any of these speed sets. But probably the speed sets will be in the next temple events locked again, so we will probably get another temple event in January. But right now the prices for any of these speed sets is just super high. So we can see here in the auction it's 250 million. It's very OP, but for this price I don't know if it's really worth it just for a speed set. I will possibly just keep my Insidious speed set if I'm going to be honest. Alright, so now let's have a look at the token vendor. So here at the token vendor you can buy a Dragkin Temple Farmer's Elixir. This one gives you 15% more points for your total score leaderboard and 20% damage in the event map for 10 minutes. So this elixir is 10 platinum, and as you can see I bought some platinum. I bought platinum so I can buy a bunch of these temple farmers elixirs. I need them for the leaderboard. I actually mainly need it for the 20% damage in the event map. It's not a lot, but any buff can make a difference. Possibly at the end of the event I will not have any platinum left because I just need so many of these elixirs. But anyway, so with the temple tokens you can buy either a temple currency chest or a dragonfire weapon chest. Right now I recommend to open these. So there's new mythic weapons level 1 to level 25 and they look really cool, and I'm sure they're also strong, but it is for low level. So I already opened a bunch of these chests with my tokens and I sold them. So you can see you can make quite a bit of gold just from these dragonfire weapons. So definitely open these chests, and whenever the price of these weapons drop too low, you can just open these currency chests. And if you're lucky, you're going to get some speed up kits or pet level up kits. So yeah, this is everything, and now let's have a look at the event map. So here you can also see the new aura. If we inspect them, this is how the new aura looks like. It's honestly not that good. In the store it looked a little bit better than it actually is. It seems to be really small. If you compare it to my Northern Lights aura, my Northern Lights aura is so much bigger than his aura. That's why I like this Northern Lights aura. It's so big and it looks so clean. So now let's go into the event map. There's waves here as you can see, and you have a 1-minute countdown here. And you need to kill the mobs within 60 seconds and you cannot die. And of course we focus on the solo high score leaderboard. That's the most important leaderboard, which also made me the GOAT of Arcane Legends. So there's unlimited waves here, and there is also boss waves, and the boss waves go all the way to wave 50. And from the boss waves you can also loot some items. For example, a sacred badge, which is 20 million gold, and it looks pretty cool. And you can also loot some vanity weapons, which are very rare. And these vanity weapons are called sacred, and you can see they're very expensive, but they're actually pretty ugly. The only reason they're expensive is because they're so rare. But so far I haven't looted any badge and any vanity weapon. So one advice I can give you is to use the pet Cryptoref. It's probably by far the best passive pet you can use. It reduces the damage of mobs by 70%, which is just super useful, and it really helps you out so much. For the happiness bonus, I would recommend Heroic Polar or Heroic Ghostly. And for the AA, I recommend Mephisto. Mephisto gives you 50% damage reduction. It also gives you 50% damage stacking. It also gives you a lot of dex, strength, and intelligence. It's a really useful AA, and it will help you out a lot here. But there's one downside you could say for this event. You need good gears for this event. So you need Kraken gears and you need Beast gears if you want to be a top 50 player of your class. The awakenings and the jewels aren't as important. It's just important that you have the gears. Theoretically, if you're really good, you could probably also make it on the leaderboard with just Kraken without any beast, but it's very difficult. There's even a lot of people with full corrupted jewels and full like 8% primary stat awakening on each gear that can't even make it into the top 50 of their class. These people are just very bad and their gears can't carry them. Also, one more thing, having one of these Virmir Castle jewels on your damage set helps you a lot with your damage. It gives you 10 primary stat and 2.5% crit damage, which is about 3 times the damage a corrupted jewel gives you. And this jewel is also about 3 times cheaper as a corrupted jewel. So you should really consider having one of these jewels on your damage set. The way you need to play is you want to proc your Kraken gears, and after you proc you switch to your damage set. On your damage set you have your beast gears. Also, don't forget to use elixirs. You can use a 25% damage elixir, 15% armor, and 25% damage reduction elixir. Fish elixirs, marsh elixirs, and dark bombs don't work in temple because they are broken and they're pay to win. You already have to spend quite a bit on these elixirs anyway, so it's good that all of these are disabled. So yeah, this is everything about the temp event. I wish everyone a lot of success in your solo high score. Hopefully you can become a top player of your class. This is it with the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and GOAT Apox out. Bye.